There's a trap many women fall into without even realizing it. You work hard, you stay dependable, you solve problems without creating drama. You become the person everyone can count on, and because of that, you assume you're building a career. But in many workplaces, that's not what's happening. You're building a role people don't want to lose. At first, it feels like progress. Your manager trusts you. Your team depends on you. People say things like, "I don't know what we'd do without you." That sounds like recognition. It sounds like security. But sometimes it's not security at all. Sometimes it's a very polished form of being stuck. Because the better you are at holding everything together, the more inconvenient you become to promote. If they move you, they have to replace you. If they replace you, things may get messy. If things get messy, your manager suddenly has a problem. So the easiest decision is often to leave you exactly where you are, competent, reliable, and carrying more than your job title says. And women are especially vulnerable to this, not because we're less capable, but because many of us were taught the wrong rules. We were taught to be pleasant, helpful, low maintenance, grateful. We were taught that asking for more money sounds greedy. That wanting power sounds cold. That ambition makes you less feminine, less likable, less safe. So we stay quiet. We over-deliver. We become indispensable. And then we wonder why we're exhausted, underpaid, and still overlooked. Here's the hard truth. Being excellent at your current job does not automatically make people see you as ready for the next one. In fact, it can do the opposite. The more people associate you with fixing today's problems, the less they imagine you shaping tomorrow's decisions. That's where so many smart women lose years, because while you are proving how reliable you are, someone else is proving how visible they are. While you are making life easier for everyone around you, someone else is making it easier for leadership to picture them in a bigger role. And this matters far beyond ego. More income is not just about status. For many women, especially mothers, a raise can mean breathing room. It can mean less financial pressure at home, more support, more savings, more options, less fear. And more influence at work can eventually lead to more flexibility, more control, and fewer chaotic tasks draining your time and energy. So no, wanting more is not selfish. It is not unfeminine. It is not a character flaw. Sometimes it is the most responsible thing you can do for yourself and for the people depending on you. If you've been waiting for your work to speak for itself, this is your sign. Work does not speak in closed-door decisions. People do. Narratives do. Visibility does. Here's the part nobody explains clearly enough. You can become more efficient without actually moving forward. You know the systems, the shortcuts, the people, the patterns. You can spot a problem early and clean it up fast. From the outside, that looks like mastery. But sometimes it's just repetition in a more polished form. You are getting faster at the same level, not growing into the next one. And women are often praised for exactly that: endurance, adaptability, emotional control, being the one who keeps everything running. We carry projects, we carry teams, we carry family logistics, we carry stress with a calm face and then wonder why nobody sees us as strategic. The truth is, we've been rewarded for stamina so often that we mistake it for expansion. But the next level usually requires very different skills, not just execution, but judgment. Not just solving, but prioritizing. Not just being helpful, but shaping direction. Not just doing more, but deciding what no longer deserves your time. Most organizations do not train you for those skills before promotion, yet they often want proof of those skills before they give you the opportunity. So women end up in a frustrating loop, highly trusted in performance, barely recognized in potential. Then the label sticks. You stop being seen as a woman with leadership capacity and start being seen as a function, the reliable one, the organized one, the one who handles difficult clients, the one who trains everyone new, the one who can always be trusted with the mess. At first, that sounds flattering. But labels become lazy career prisons, because once a company decides who you are, it stops imagining who else you could become. You are appreciated, but not repositioned. You are praised, but not promoted. You are given more responsibility, but not more authority, money, or control. And if deep down you still carry the belief that career ambition is somehow too masculine, this becomes even more dangerous. You start minimizing your own desire. You tell yourself to be thankful. You tell yourself not to push. You tell yourself it's not that important. But let's be honest, there is nothing unfeminine about wanting your work to create more peace in your household. A higher salary can mean groceries without stress, emergency savings without panic, better childcare options, a repaired car without drama, and a future that feels less fragile. A better role can also mean fewer reactive tasks, more planning power, better boundaries, and more control over your time. That is not vanity, that's stability. So if you feel stuck despite doing everything right, it may not be because you're failing. It may be because you became too valuable at the wrong level, in a system that rewards visible ambition more than quiet excellence. So what do you do if you recognize yourself in this? First, stop treating competence like the whole strategy. Competence is the baseline. It proves you can be trusted. But after that, the game changes. If you want to grow, you can not only be known for doing the work, you also need to be known for where you are going. That means saying it clearly, not dramatically, not aggressively, not with a fake corporate persona, just clearly. You need people above you to know that you want progression, broader ownership, better compensation, and work that uses more of your mind than your stamina. Silence gets misread as satisfaction. If you never name your next step, many leaders will assume you are happy exactly where you are. Second, start building proof for the next role, not just perfection in the current one. Lead something. Present recommendations, not just updates. Improve a process. Mentor with intention. Ask for visibility across teams. Speak in terms of impact, not only effort. Shift the story from "she gets everything done" to "she can think bigger, lead wider, and create results at a higher level." Third, make your work visible in a grounded, elegant way. This is not bragging. It is translation. Do not assume people understand the value of what you do just because they benefit from it. Explain outcomes. Name the problems you solved, the time you saved, the risk you prevented, the systems you improved, the people you supported, the business impact you created. Work without context disappears into other people's convenience. And finally, question the old belief that femininity requires smallness. Real femininity is not self-erasure. It is not pretending you do not want more. It is not making yourself easier to overlook so other people feel comfortable. You do not become less loving by becoming more powerful. You do not betray your family by wanting more income, more authority, or more room to grow. In many cases, the opposite is true. More money can buy relief. More influence can reduce friction. More strategic work can create more control. And more control over your time can mean more presence where it matters most, both emotionally and practically. So yes, do your current job well, but do not build your entire future on being the woman who quietly saves the day while everyone else decides what your ceiling should be. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to ask for more. And you are allowed to grow before the world feels ready to give you permission. Because the real trap is not being bad at your job, The real trap is becoming so good at the wrong level that you spend years succeeding in a role that was never designed to set you free. If this video spoke to you, make sure to subscribe to Clever Girl Academy for more honest insights on growth, confidence, empowerment, and building a life with more freedom and less pressure. And if you're ready for the next step, watch the next video or dive into the playlist right here.